Hello, I welcome you to our today's lesson, and guess what? Today we'll be talking about the introduction to biology. So even as we get to discuss about the introduction to biology, it's very important to look at the word biology itself. What is the meaning of the word biology? Okay, so if you will look at this word biology, so this word biology, it is a combination of two words, which is bio and what? Logy. So it is a combination of what? Two words, which is bio and what? Logy, like this. Okay, so the word bio, or this prefix bio, from the word biology, it means what? Living things. Living things. Living things or organisms. Living things or organisms. And living things or organisms. So these living things or organisms may be what? Plants, maybe what? Animals, maybe other things that encompasses movement, feeding, respiration, excretion. Okay, so those are some of the examples of what? Living things. Okay, so now if we look at the word logy, it comes from a Greek word which is called logos, and this word means study of. So logy means study of. Okay, so if a question comes to say define the term biology, so biology can be simply defined as a study of what? Living organisms, which may be plants or what? Animals. Away from that, we can also look at what? The two major branches of what? Biology. Okay, the two major branches of what? Biology. So biology being it a subject, and by definition we are saying that biology, it is a study of what? Living organisms. So biology centers on what? Studying two things, which is plants and animals. Okay, so these are the two major things which biology seeks to do what? To study. Okay, so the biologists, they conduct research just to investigate on these two things, which is plant and what? Animals. And these are the examples of what? Living things or organisms. So we are saying that the two branches of biology are what? Number one of the branch of biology is called the botan or botan. And this botan, it means what? Plants. It is a study or a branch of biology which studies what? Plants or pasture. The second branch of biology is called zoology. It is called zoology, and the word zoology emanates from an English word which is called zoo, and zoo means animals. So this is a branch of biology which studies animals. which studies what? Animals. So these are the two major branches of what? Biology. So if this comes in an exam, they ask you to say, can you list down two main branches of biology? You are ought to write botany and zoology. These are the two major branches of what? Biology. But away from this, there are other branches of what? Biology. And these other branches which we are about to discuss, these branches, they emanate from these two major branches. So, and these branches, they include, number one, they include ecology. Ecology. Okay? So ecology, the word ecology, it is a combination of two words. It is the combination of eco and what? Logy. So logy, we understand that the meaning of the word logy is what? Study of. But what is the meaning of eco? Okay? So the meaning of the word eco, it means what? Relationships. Relationships. So this branch of biology, it seeks to study the relationships, the relationship of these living organisms, be it plants or animals, in relation with what? The environment. So that's it. So ecology, it is a branch of biology which studies the relationship of animals with what? The environment. So the word ecology means what? Relationship. Relationship means relationship. So it is a branch of biology which studies what? The relationship of animals with what? The environment. Another branch of biology which we can talk about is physiology. Physiology. Again, we discover that this prefix logy, it is also coming in the word of physiology. And we know that this word means what? Study of. But we are not acquainted with what? Physio. Okay? Physio, this word. Okay? So this word physio, whenever you come across the word physio, it means function. Okay? Function. So this is a branch of biology which seeks to study the function of the parts of these living organisms. Okay, so this physiology, it's study to what? It's the study of what? The parts, the function of the parts of what? Living organisms. If we are talking about the genetic makeup of these organisms. For example, if we talk about an animal cell. Okay, an animal cell is made up of different parts. We can talk about the nucleus, we can talk about the cytoplasm, we can also talk about the vacuole, we can also talk about the cell membrane, we can also talk about the cell wall. Okay, now the function of those parts, or the function of the nucleus, if we begin to talk about the function of the nucleus, that is the application of this branch, which is what? Physiology. So physiology is a branch of biology which seeks to what? To identify the functions of what? Of the parts of what? These living organisms. Okay, So what you must put in your mind, or what must come in your mind whenever you come across this branch of biology, which is called physiology, is the word what? Function. Away from this, another branch of biology which we can talk about is called what? Morphology. Is called morphology. Okay, so this is another branch of what? Biology. Okay, remember, these are not the major ones. The major ones are just two, which is botany and zoology. Okay, so morphology, it is a combination of two words. We have got morpho and logy. So the word morpho means what? Form. It means what? Form. Means form or what? Structures. Then logy means study. So in simpler terms, this branch of biology, it is just a study of what? The form or the structure of what? These living organisms. Okay? It tries to differentiate or to place a distinction between the plants being the living organisms and what? The animals being the what? Living organisms. So the branch of this branch called morphology, which is the branch of biology, is what differentiates what? The plants from what? Animals. As simple as that. Then we have got also another branch of biology called biochemistry. 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 So biochemistry. Okay, so as we know that bio means what? Living organisms, and chemistry is coming from the word chemicals. Okay, chemicals. So, or chemical reactions. So this branch of chemistry, this branch of biology, it seeks to study, or rather it is a study of biological chemical reaction which takes inside of what? These living organisms. Okay, so it is just simply the study of all chemical reactions that takes place in these chemical reactions. So there are chemical reactions that takes place in animals as well as in plants. So that study is what is called biochemistry. Okay, so away from this, let's talk about the characteristics of living organisms. The characteristics of living organisms. So the characteristics of living organisms. So when you look at the word characteristics, it's also very important to understand the meaning of the word characteristics. So when we are talking about the word when we are talking about characteristics, we are simply talking about the features, something that you can something that will be able, when you look at these living organisms, you'll be able to say, okay, this is a living organism and this is not a living organism. So that distinction factor, something that is able to differentiate living organisms from what? Non-living organisms. Okay, so those are what we call characteristics. So what are some of the characteristics or the qualification, something that qualifies living organisms? So these living organisms, one of the characteristics of living organisms is called growth. Growth. So when you look at animals, okay, animals are able to grow. We are able to see that the stature of animals is getting, so it's getting bigger day by day. So growth, by definition, growth is just simply a permanent increase in size of an organisms. Yeah, and a change is seen in mass as well. So growth is just simply a permanent increase of an organism, a permanent increase in an organism. Okay, so that is growth. Another characteristic of living organism is excretion. 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 This word, excretion. What comes in your mind? Excretion. So excretion, it is the removal of toxic or metabolic toxic waste. Okay, the removal of metabolic toxic products. Okay, that is what is called what? Excretion. Okay, so the removal of waste products. Okay, the removal of waste products. Okay, that is what we call what? Excretion. For example, pissing. Okay, so the removal of toxic, like for example, we can give an example of sweating. Okay, we can when you are jogging, you're taking a walk, maybe when it is too sunny, we are able to see sweat coming out of our body. That is a good example of what? Excretion. Sweat is an example of what? Toxic, metabolic what? Waste. Okay, so that is excretion. Okay, so another characteristics is called what? Metabolism. Metabolism is another characteristic of living organisms. Okay, so metabolism, all chemical processes or reactions that takes place in a living organisms are termed as metabolisms. All chemical reactions, all reactions that takes place. We can talk about digestion, we can talk about even excretion itself. It falls under what? Metabolism. Okay, so all chemical reactions, that's what we call what? Metabolism. Okay, away from this, there is also another characteristic which we call movement. Movement is another characteristic of what? Living organisms. Okay, we are able to see animals are able to locomote. They are able to move from one place to another. That is what we call what? Movement or locomotion. Locomotion, like that. Then another characteristic of living organism is sensitivity. So sensitivity is just simply the ability of living organisms to do what? To detect and to respond to what? Environmental changes. Okay, so the ability of living organisms to respond to environmental changes, that is what is termed as what? Sensitivity. Okay, sensitivity. So sensitivity, it is just the ability of these living organisms to detect and to respond to the changes, okay, that has occurred outside. Okay, so that is sensitivity. Then last but not the least, So there are so many characteristics, but today we are just going to look at these ones. Okay, so the last one is what? Respiration. Respiration. So respiration is just simply the process by which glucose is broken down in order to release what? Energy. The process by which glucose, okay, the process by which glucose is broken down to release energy, that is what is called what? Respiration. We all need energy, and so as plants, they also need energy. So this applies what? Opens for what? Respiration. So respiration is one of the what? The characteristics of living organisms. Okay, so today we are just going to end here, and tomorrow we shall continue, where we shall talk about what a cell is, and we shall also talk about different types of cells which are there. We have got plant cell, we have got also an animal cell, and also their structure. We shall also talk about the functions, or rather the parts of these cells. Now their functions, we shall discuss them tomorrow. So for today, thank you very much for watching, and let's not forget to write the notes. So where we are not clear, just inbox, just write a question there, then I'll be able to see where I can help. Okay, so thank you. So you can copy the notes. For today we end here. Thank you.